Hi guys, let's watch this video and share our thoughts in the comment section of why the Americans will never support the immigrants, especially the African ones. That's just the honest truth. With this video clips, credit to the owners of this video. Now see it.
You can't cosplay as us anymore. You can't say, oh, let me drop whatever language I speak at home and start talking like a brother and get reparations or get anything that's specifically black. You don't want that. The last thing you want is delineation, but every time I turn around on somebody's Instagram, they got 15 flags and none of them are American. But they want to tell us how we lazy and we need to stand the third. But it was our ancestors that got you immigration, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. We did all of that. Now it's our turn. And because we're saying we're foundational Black Americans, because if anybody understood their history, the majority of Black Americans, when you look at the slaves, the majority of the slaves did not come here. There was a very small percentage, and then they bred us like cattle, had us sleeping like rabbits. The term mother came from what they made us do to us. So we have no place to go home to. You can go back to Lagos. You can go back to Nigeria. You can go back to the Ivory Coast. You can go wherever you came from. And since you're so better, why ain't you there? But you do not have a right to sit up here and say that we can't fight for our rights or have the right to delineate. We have a culture.
So why are some Black Americans anti-Mexican and anti-immigrant? It's a question that I've been exploring myself for a really long time, understanding and getting to the bottom of. So I'm gonna talk about that in this video today. Being someone who is Afro-Latino with a very Black Hispanic parent, I feel like I have a perspective that I'm gonna share that a lot of people, of course, don't normally like to speak on and touch on, but that's why your girl is here. I have a message to spread. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, bro. Mexican parents, which that's my experience because that's my background. Mexican parents, no matter what color, are extremely prejudiced towards Black Americans. And it is actually very common. And it has been going on forever. And Black Americans are catching on to that. Let's keep the ball rolling with this one. When I first came here to the US, I had just came out of a very small village, Afro-Indigenous village. And of course, when I first came here, I immediately met African Americans and of course the white Americans. We all had an idea of what they were like. We wanted to be friends. We thought it was awesome. As a minority living in another country, you think Americans are really cool. As opposed to someone that's more, let's say in Europe, they hate Americans. And even in some parts of, my country, Americans are not really welcomed or loved. But in a small or minority village, poverty-ridden places, Americans are a dream. And I think that's very innocent minded and a really beautiful idea to have as well. I don't think that's a bad thing, all right? I didn't know what being African American was. I didn't know everybody's background, even the white Americans. I didn't really know their history yet, right? I just knew everybody was from the United States and they were rich and awesome. One thing that I always talk about is kind of like, what is the movie Home Alone? That's my idea of the US, wealth and just white families. That's kind of how I had that idea. Of course, I know that's not true for all white people. So over time, when I started learning English and understanding things more, learning about history, of course, African American history, now I know that they didn't tell us the full truth about it. But, learning about slavery and learning about Malcolm X and Harriet Tubman and all of that, I was extremely inspired and I immediately became a really big explorer of African American history, the background of slavery and the result of the African American society we have today in present day, right? So I have that understanding now, and I'm a big, huge advocate and ally for my African American brothers and sisters. Now, I did see that my own parents had a lot of prejudices, ideas, stereotypes that they were told about the African American community, and then I started noticing that my friends' parents are the same way, and everybody's parents, and the elders were even worse. I was shocked, to say the least. To openly call Black folks the N-word, dehumanize, and hold them to the stereotypes that are straight up BS, not thinking of ourselves as one. That is something that exists and that I cannot defend. And even as a Mexican myself, a Latina myself, it's freaking bullshit. So back to my point, why do some Black Americans have or don't want to have an allyship towards Mexicans, Hispanics, or just the immigrant community in general? I'm not saying that it's okay to be inhumane, call us illegal aliens, and doing the same thing the majority our white folks who are being like
Parents did not tell us to care about it. They never did. Your parents, your grandparents told you to care about it. And that's the problem with the Black American community. Your grandparents told your parents about racism, and your parents told you about racism. That you're gonna grow up and tell your kids about racism. And the problem continues because you keep on talking about it. Listen, my dad was born in 1961. That's a year after Congo became an independent country. So my dad grew up watching the country going from colonization to becoming what it is today. My dad has never sat me down to tell me about how he was growing up. Never. Never! And that will never be my dad's story. My dad's story is the story of a 17-year-old who came from a Congolese village, made it to the capital, and now owns multiple properties. That is my dad's story. My dad's story will never be the story of a young man who grew up in a country where white folks used to mistreat his father. My dad's story will never be the story of a young man who came from a woman who was probably the result of a grape, because my grandma is light-skinned as hell and we don't even know who our parents are. We don't. We don't have that information. So we can only assume that she was probably the result of a grape during colonization. We just leave it at that. And we decide to not make that.
If you have watched this video up until this moment, don't forget to subscribe. In that way, anytime I post any video, you will get a notification. To my old subscribers, you guys are the best. And to my new subscribers, I see each and every one of you all. May God bless you. In this channel, we'll talk about trending gist, trending updates. Feel free to join the family by smashing the subscription button. Grab your popcorn, just sit down, relax, let us talk. From the video clips that you might have already watched, I believe you understand what we're going to talk about, because a whole lot of things is going right now on TikTok, on the internet, concerning this particular topic about the immigrants and the Americans. A lot of people are saying that Americans are supposed to help the immigrants, when things are going wrong, or like right now that Trump is actually deporting the Somalians, that the Americans are supposed to support them, react about it, so that Trump will actually know that what he's doing to the immigrants is not good, right? And why some are saying that what Trump is actually doing is good, and why some are saying this is the reason why they cannot support the immigrants, especially the African ones. Now, as you watch the video, leave your own thoughts in the comment section, because everybody is entitled to their own opinion at the end of the day. Your opinion is different from mine, and mine is different from you. That is why we are different humans, different individuals. Because at the end of the day, you can't, you know, you can't just see some certain things and keep quiet, especially the things that really affect you as an American, as an African, as a whatsoever country you come from. When you see things that are going wrong on the social media, or even in the physical aspect or aside social media, at least your opinion might be the one that will go to the highest order. In that way, they will know what to do about it. Because at this point, people are reacting so many ways, because even the Somalians, they are like, Americans are not helping matter, that the Americans are not supporting them, Americans are not reacting towards it, and the Americans are actually saying this is their reason why they don't want to support you guys. Some of them, a lot of people say that the reason is genuine, while some say it's not genuine. I'll see you guys in my next video. For now, bye.